Hello everyone and welcome back to another series of video lecture with me Musaddiq Keswani. In this series, we are going to dive into an emerging topic that's gaining a lot of attention in accounting and business world. There might be a misconception that this topic might be a bit dry, but trust me, it is anything but boring. And by the end of this lecture, you would surely accept its significance and the impact it will have on the financial reporting and corporate world. Yes, we are talking about recently issued IFRS sustainability standards. Sustainability standards have quickly become a focus of attention in corporate world, as these standards will have significant impact on financial reporting and they will be reshaping how organizations disclose and manage sustainability. Now, you might be thinking, why is everyone making such a big deal about sustainability standards, right? Hang on, my friend. Let me tell you that in today's business environment, how company handles sustainability is as crucial as its profits, and that is why investors are paying close attention to these standards, because the modern investors wants to know more than just about profits or growth. Instead, they also wants to know that how this profit or growth is achieved and whether its prospects are long term or short term. Or let me rephrase it. The modern day investor now wants to know that whether companies' prospects are sustainable and it is worth investing or not. And for this evaluation, investors would need information related to companies' sustainability practices. So this creates the need to provide sustainability disclosure along with the financial information. And now that we have understood the need of sustainability disclosure, there arises a question that how to present these disclosures. So before sustainability standards came along, sustainability reporting was like a buffet with too many choices, different standards focusing on different aspects. Some were about environmental impacts, other about social issues and so on. This created a lot of confusion, and with the region like European Union making their own rules, it was even more complex. And that is where the International Sustainability Standards Board ISSB steps in. In 2021, the IFRS Foundation recognized the need for a consistent approach to sustainability reporting. So, they set up the ISSB to create a global baseline for these disclosures. Think of sustainability standards as creating one rule book for everyone to follow, making things simpler, clearer, and at the same time comparable. Up till now, ISSB has introduced two key standards, IFRS S1 and IFRS S2. Okay, so now we have been saying sustainability and sustainability like a lot. Let us have a look that what do we really mean by sustainability. So to understand what sustainability is, we can look at it from two perspectives. First, the environmental impact, and second, the long-term viability. Environmental impact. It refers that the companies should work to minimize their negative effect on the environment. And it is not just about saying they care. They need to take real action to show that they really care. In other words, that companies should not just be talking the talk, rather they should now walking the walk. And if we talk about long-term viability, which is the other but equally important aspect to describe the sustainability, it says that the investors wants to back companies that have a long-term future and they are not interested in business that ignores the environmental issues which creates the business risk, and these will ultimately become the reason for the downfall of the business and can even crash the whole industry. So if we try to conclude it from the perspective of giant investors, then sustainability is all about making decisions that ensure the long-term success of the business, resulting in the payback of the investment along with providing the returns over a long-term period even after the payback. Let's bring in some real-world examples to add more context to our discussion. So let's talk about coal mining companies. As you would know that many countries are now pushing towards the cleaner energy sources under the global agreements like the Paris Agreement. Due to these agreements, coal mining businesses are struggling as the countries which have signed the agreements globally are avoiding coal for producing energy because of its high carbon emissions. And for this, we have the live example of companies like Peabody Energy, one of the world's largest coal producer, have faced financial struggles due to the implementation of stricter regulation and shift towards the renewable energy sources by the government. This shows that without transitioning to cleaner energy solution, these types of companies are not sustainable. Moving forward, if we talk about automobile manufacturers, which rely solely on combustion engines such as General Motors or Ford, which are currently dominating the market. But in the upcoming decades, many governments are placing bans on petrol and diesel cars. And if these companies do not fully adopt to electric vehicle technology, they can lose their market share to other sustainable companies like Tesla. We can have the another example of fast fashion brands. Brands like H&M and Zara, which rely on cheap and mass production, they are facing increased pressure due to the environmental impact, as fast fashion creates enormous waste and uses significant resources like water and energy. And customers are now demanding the sustainable fashion, and that is the main area which we need to understand, that companies which fails to move towards the eco-friendly practices could lose their market share to the brand that focuses on sustainability. So now we can have some more examples like plastic packaging companies. Companies that produces single-use plastics such as Amcor and Steelair are facing serious decline in demand due to the global push against the plastic pollution. And also with the regulation tightening in countries like European Union, where there is a commitment to reduce single-use plastic up to 50% by 2025. These businesses that stick to traditional plastic packaging could become obsolete unless they shift towards the reusable alternative. Similarly, if we talk about a major industry, that is oil and gas sector, the giants like ExxonMobil and Chevron, which are highly dependent on fossil fuel, nowadays they are facing high pressure from regulator due to the climate change. Moreover, as renewable energy sources like wind and solar are growing rapidly, if these companies do not invest in sustainable alternatives and transition towards the cleaner energy, it could lead these companies to a loss of investors' confidence and profitability. So, my friends, all these examples proves that the sustainability is not just a passing trend. Instead, it is a fundamental shift in investors' interest and focus on sustainability. And to capture their interest, sustainability disclosure are the only go-to solution. And so now I hope that we have understood what sustainability is and why sustainability disclosure are so important to investors. So if we try to conclude, then understanding these sustainability standards is essential for everyone involved in financial reporting and investment decisions. And also, companies which are serious about sustainability and sustainability practices enjoys the significant benefits such as investors' interest and confidence, and also the strong support from the other stakeholders in terms of customer loyalty, better brand value and happier employees. Having said that, yes, implementing these standards can be challenging. Gathering accurate data and changing processes can be tough, but think of it as a marathon. It might be hard at first, but the rewards that are better performance and long-term success are worth it. So these challenges are just really the opportunities to grow and improve. They are not just about following rules, they are about creating more transparent, ethical and sustainability world. As these standards continue to evolve, staying informed will be a key to success. So stay tuned for more insights as we dive deeper into IFRS S1 and S2 in our upcoming sessions. Thanks for joining me today. Take care and I will see you soon.